So while this game is loading, we'll just go through the history of why this game was being played at all. So this game spawned from an argument. The jungler here, Garister, he is an Olaf one trick. He spammed Olaf to Diamond 3, and he's bragging about it. To which the argument was, Olaf is broken, you just spammed Olaf to Diamond 3. The argument then was that he didn't spam Olaf, he got to Diamond 3 with his big brain, his 300 IQ plays. And then we pull up his OPGG, and he's like 254 games on Olaf. And the next up is Nocturne with like 16 or 18 or something. Like 18 games on Nocturne, 16 games on Jarvan. So pretty clear Olaf one trick, right? So he kind of got dared into doing this game as a duo queue. And wouldn't you know it, the enemy first picks Olaf jungle. The plump bunny is apparently playing the Olaf jungle. So now we're just gonna sit in here and watch with, your one trick being taken away from you. This is a diamond level game. It's a duo queue, a duel between the Ezreal and the Jarvan, who is supposed to be Olaf but got his pick stolen. We're gonna have to see whether or not this Diamond 3 placement is really because there's a big brain that works, or it's just because there's a one trick in the house. Now I'll say that just putting it out there, I will say getting to Diamond 3 on anything is already pretty impressive on its own right. It doesn't even matter. Like, you could spam the most dishonorable champion in the game to get there. Like, you could spam Yuumi and hit Diamond 3. That doesn't matter. You hit Diamond 3. If you can get to Diamond 3, good for you, round of applause. I have no doubts that these are talented players. However, I'm also not expecting greatness. Just because this is, at the end of the day, still a game where you have your one trick stolen away from you. So now you have to play a champion that you only ranked with 16 times this season. And it's June. This season's like more than half done. So you're not unfamiliar with the champion by any means, but you're not as skilled with Jarvan as you would be perhaps with the Olaf. So we're going to jump into this game and see who's going to win it. We're going to have a Vladimir top facing off against Poppy. The jungle matchup is what we all have our eyes on. There's the Olaf jungle against the Jarvan. Cassidy is mid against the Zoe. Aphelios Morgana facing off against Ezreal Pyke. And this is going to be a diamond duo queue, which I believe is actually the first time I casted a game that goes as high as this. The highest I've done before this is just 2 platinum 1s, so really high platinum. But this is diamond 4, diamond 3 level, so genuine diamond. Not like Heartstruck diamond 4, not for all of them at least. Genuine high diamond, well, mid diamond. We'll say mid diamond. Mid to low diamond. We'll settle on mid to low diamond. So interestingly enough, we do have 2 hyperscaling monsters, one on each team. Cassidy against the Vladimir, a matchup as old as time. Both champions want to hit a certain high level to reach their power spikes. Both rely on a lot of items. And looking at all the matchups, looking at the rune choices, everything here does seem pretty standard. So we're just going to kick it off here. I will say that this is not the most comfortable matchup. I'm okay with casting. Jungling is easily my weakest role. So I have very little insight to offer on how either junglers should play this game. But we are going to have a red team invade, flag in the try, they're walking down, but blue team, they're planning their own invade. Undertow, that's the second Undertow. His mana bar is at half already. Now they're both scouting each other's jungles, but obviously they're not going to find anybody. So no early first blood unless they somehow walk into each other here. Vladimir's going to be sent back. And red team, they word out the pink. That's not the pink. They word out the red. I don't know why I said pink. But now the rest are returning. But they walked over a blue team ward. So now blue team knows that's exactly where they are. And they're going to set up a camp here. Pyke might be the victim. Oh, he walked over a ward. They know he's there. This might be it. The Dark Binding hits. He finds 4 people. There's no escape for him. First blood to the Zoe. That's going to be a amazing start of this game for blue team. Now keep in mind, when these two players argue, they don't necessarily both employ sound levels of logic. There tends to be a lot of excuses thrown back and forth. And I say this with love to both sides, of course. Olaf is going to take away 2 camps. But you can just see, like, if this game goes south, the argument isn't that I suck at jungling. The argument is gonna be they cheesed us. Even though I will argue getting past the cheese is a part of being a great player, knowing how to adapt. But as we say that, Ezreal is going to kill the Olaf, and here comes the Jarvan coming down for the collapse. Flag and drag, gets the knockdown. Morgana is going to be the next kill. Suddenly 2-1, and the Aphelios, he's level 1, he doesn't have Q, he doesn't have speed, he's only got a pistol, and he's smacking the Ezreal with it, but he can't find the damage. Zoe's going to arrive to the fight, flag and drag, but the Zoe flashes over, getting the ignite on the Ezreal, kills him off, 2 for 2 so far, and the Aphelios trying to juke out the Jarvan. Is it going to be enough? Kassan has arrived to the scene, and that's going to be a third kill over to the red team. Zoe is going to be the last victim. 3v1, she has no chance. Red team's going to walk away net positive. They do get a ton of kills for themselves. Ezreal is going to go back for a call. And the Jarvan sits with his machete and his refill pot. But he's a little bit behind the Olaf. He's cleared red buff and immediately went over to join the fight. So now he's going to steal away the Olaf's buff. He's going to try to double buff the Olaf, but in a diagonal fashion, which is rarely seen. He's quite a bit behind the CS. 8 CS indicates he's only killed 2 buffs, and that's it. But he does have the 2 kills lead, and the Pyke, he's dashing in, face first, no regards for his safety. Aphelios is still level 1, he switches to the Sniper, that gives him enough range to kill off the Pyke, but the Morgana is quick to follow, and now it's an ADC fighting each other with a Jarvan helping out. The Jarvan is not going to take the kill, going to leave the double kill over to the Ezreal. 3-6 now. Red team is very far ahead in the early game, but the Olaf, he wants some blood as well. Going to run down mid lane. Zoe picks up Redemption, and that's going to reset the fight and give Olaf some health back. She's walking into the Kassadin face first, going for point blank paddle stars, and actually winning this trade thanks to her passive, which I believe is called More Sparkles or something stupid like that. And the Vladimir is going to push out top lane. All this time, none of these 8 players have been while top lane in any of their scuffles, and Poppy falling a little bit behind the Vladimir here in lane. It is a pretty rough matchup for Poppy. It's hard to nail a hit onto the Vladimir, and it's hard to do a combo onto the Vladimir just because Poppy really has one chance to jump into a fight, and if that one chance gets disengaged, he just kind of sits there and just be awkward. So Vladimir gets a pretty chill lane to himself. When Poppy charges in, she just has to do the walk of shame and go back out and tank a ton of hits in return. Really, the goal of this lane for Poppy is just to try to contain the Vlad as much as she can. Not necessarily win the lane, you don't have to win it, but you just have to keep up with him. You need to make sure that even when he gets going, even when he hits his level power spikes, you don't die to him. And you can exert enough pressure on your own lane to contain him. And here comes the Olaf. He's in the alcove, he got spotted out. Tries to pounce on the Pyke, he's not gonna get it. Jarvan is gonna head top. He's going to disturb the piece here. Poppy's gonna pop a steadfast ward, and here comes the Jarvan to smack onto the Vladimir. He has the pull. Is he going to get out? No, he's not. Jarvan takes a third kill. 3-0 and 3. Jungler and ADC both really ahead right now for red team, and that's going to culminate into a 1.6k lead. Most of it is going on the Jarvan, but the Jarvan hasn't shopped yet. He's 3-0 and 3. He hasn't bought an item. He's still sitting on the Hunter's Machete. He might reset after that Crux camp though. The hook going down onto the Morgana. Sniper cannon onto the Pyke. The Pyke is a very rough pick into this matchup. Aphelios can keep him at bay, and Morgana's Black Shield always exists to counter the hook, counter the stun, everything annoying that the Pyke can do. The hook does connect on the Morgana, but the trade back is not pleasant for the Ezreal. He's gonna get pounced on by the Aphelios, but here comes the teleport down. The Kassadin is coming, but so is the Zoe. She walks down, but Kassadin gets binded immediately. He's in the middle of 3. Zoe picks up a free heal, and that's going to try to reset the fight. Kassadin is still going in, but he's taking so much damage. Electrocute onto him. Ezreal gets ignited. He has to try to run away. Olaf joins the fight as well. Zoe kills off the Ezreal with the burn, thanks to Olaf's blue smite. Pyke is gonna hook into Zoe, but the Kassadin, he's too low. He can't fight this. The Realm Jump or Portal Jump or whatever that ultimate is called doesn't find the paddle star connection. Zoe is going to make it back home. Blue team brought more people down, and so they win the fight. Jarvan is mid. He wants the Scuttle. He loses the Scuttle fight, but they catch the Olaf. Olaf is level 6. He's gonna pop the Ragnarok. He cannot be stunned. He cannot be controlled, but he has no health. And now he gets killed off by the Jarvan, not the Kassadin. The Kassadin didn't even get an assist off that. But as a net result, when Kassadin came out on the winning side in the early trade and early skirmish in the blue side, he has now fully lost it. From that rotation, Zoe is 2 kills ahead of him and 17 CS up. And now Kassadin is asleep. Zoe has all the time in the world to line up the shot. She's flashing it. She wants more. The W hits her landing. One portal jump will finish it, but the Rift Walk will get Kassadin out with a shred of his life. He is perfectly fine. Probably missing a leg after that, but he's still perfectly fine. He lives to fight another day. Jarvan's gonna hit level 6 off his own buff. Olaf beat him to it, but he also died. Jarvan did go back and instabot Red Smite with Cinderhawk enchantment. So that was a brand new pair of shoes. Ezreal still farming down bot. He's the much better CSer compared to the Aphelios, which is not something you can say for the rest of his laners. Kassadin and Poppy both getting destroyed in their lanes. The Pyke hoping to win the late game, as his summoner name suggests. 4-8. Red team is still holding on to a healthy lead. That bot lane skirmish almost didn't do a thing to change the overall gold state of the game. Both blue team bot laners are only level 5. Ezreal is first to 6 in this matchup. He's still farming up his call along with the Aphelios, but the Ezreal is a little bit more ahead of him. Poppy gets some free CS to herself. She's working on the adaptive helm. She does need to first item that. She's going to try for an aggressive trade, getting a grass proc, popping the steadfast presence to run back. She's actually doing a pretty good job cleaning up the CS wave, and here comes the Jarvan. Cataclysm locks in the pool. That's going to force out the Vladimir's flash, and now the transfuse is popping. He's going to end the combo with Hemoplague. Can he get the healing in time? No, he does not. One more spear to the face kills him off. Just mere milliseconds before the Hemoplague would have given him healing. Zoe flashes over to ignite the Pyke, but that's too little damage. Pyke will be just fine here. Zoe uses her ignite, gets nothing off it, but the Kassadin, his CS, is suffering more and more. He's 25 CS behind, and he eats a paddle star to the face. His inventory has looked the same for the past 2 minutes, and suddenly everybody is low and they jump into an Olaf. He wants blood, he wants some kills, so he picks up a flash. She gets a shutdown onto the Jarvan. There's 800 gold to her, and she just got way ahead compared to the Kassadin. So much gold just went into her pockets. And red team picks a fight with so many low members, and Olaf gets such a juicy undertow, winning that 2v3 resoundingly. That's gonna lead the Ezreal bot lane all alone for a while, so blue team bot lane gets to push onto him. Morgana Soil compared with in conjunction with the Aphelios sniper, it's actually doing a number on him, and here comes the Olaf. Just to make things a little bit worse, he's going to deploy the Herald, and that's going to be 2 more plays away for blue team. And suddenly blue team, they caught the goal lead back. That's going to be first tower. This is not a contestable first tower. It's going to fall any second now. Poppy runs all the way down, trades lanes with the Kassadin. She's going to send the Kassadin off to fight the Vladimir. that the right decision? We will see. Black Shield stops the charge, and the Poppy gets, not the Poppy, the Pike gets melted. The Cataclysm does land. Ezreal joins the fight. 2 people in the cage, burning down, very low. 2 for 1 trade. Only the Pike has died. But it was the Pike that died, which is very unfortunate. That is a situation where you would really appreciate a Pike ult. Especially in early game situations like this, where Pike ult doubling the assist gold will certainly go a long way in getting red team some more money. I say that's probably the most unfortunate member to die in that situation when it was just a cleanup chase. Jarvan is gonna sweep out the river, kill a ward. He's still 6-1-4, still very fat, and still tied in CS with the Olaf, but the Sleepy Trouble Bubble lands onto him. Paddle Star is not going to do significant damage. I don't think it landed, actually. And the Jarvan is just safe. Pike is going to clean up the wards here. A red team needs to try something. They do have a very terrifying mid lane threat to deal with. And their most fed member is still the Jarvan jungle. Morgana is gonna kill the pink ward, and now there's a lot of members at mid lane. Olaf gonna toss an axe in. Nothing else is gonna happen for now. Kassadin still trading up top against the Vladimir. At least that's a lane where he can find some money. He doesn't quite have Rod of Ages yet, which is such a delayed Rod of Ages, especially considering he delayed his tier for it. With his 850 gold, he opted to get closer to Rova as opposed to building a tier. The Olaf is going to kill off the Pike, and that's the 4th time this Pike has died. And now the Poppy going to knock one person out of the fight. Can she get the charge off? No, she can't, but the Cataclysm locks them out regardless. Ezreal kills off the Aphelios on the side. And now the true shot, it does come in. Ezreal finds another kill on the Morgana. That's going to be a 3 for 1. Vladimir going for an aggressive trade onto the Kassadin. Kassadin has to rift walk away to stay safe. Hemoplague not going to find the kill, but Vladimir is up to 100 CS now. Red team is going to help themselves to the Inferno Drake, and Kassadin, every lane he's going to, he's just been getting pounded. I don't think they send him to many advantageous matchups, but at least Poppy, with a lot of MR in her inventory, can withstand the Zoe damage. No matter how fed the Zoe is, early Ludens, early Sork Shoes, doesn't even matter. Pike is gonna roam up. They want to kill onto this Vladimir, but Vladimir pulls away. Kassadin's too low. He's too squishy to fight this. He needs his tier fast. He does stack it very quickly, but it's also 14 minutes in. He doesn't even have Roa done. So now you have 2 options here for the Kassadin. You abandon the tier route, which I kind of don't recommend, or you just kind of bite the bullet and opt to scale, albeit extremely slowly. But I do think if he takes any longer to finish Roa, it might actually be in his best interest to just not buy a tier this game. Buy more immediately powerful items and just try to win the game. Because right now the rest of his team is actually doing pretty okay. Jarvan is going to shine way more in the mid game here. So maybe it's in his best interest to just immediately get as powerful as he possibly can. And just win some mid game fights and just give up on the idea of scaling. He does finish his Roa 15 minutes in. Because as soon as the Kassadin's level 16, he's gonna be powerful. As long as he has at least a few items to back him up. He doesn't need to be like 4 item almost full build or anything. But it does help to sit out more than Roa and Brown Boots 15 minutes in. Aphelios is gonna go for an aggressive trade against the Ezreal. He has a Chakram, so that's so much damage. The Ezreal might not be able to stand this trade. He has to flash away from the Moonlight Vigil. That's going to keep him alive, but the Ezreal does lose his flash. So he's going to go for a long-range bubble. It does not land onto anyone, I don't think. The Kassadin does tank away the star. Black Shield is going to prevent the knock-up and the binding. It lands on the Jarvan. He's not done. Cataclysm comes in, and he has a flash out of his own cage just because the rest of the blue team is coming in. And the Morgana does get killed off by the Zoe. Top lane skirmish goes the way of blue team. 6-1-6. It's hard to make anything happen here. They don't have damage threats. Poppy's holding Keeper's Verdict, but there's a black shield on the Olaf. She can't knock him out of the fight. So that's going to be blue team turret down. And they might just lose another one in mid. Vladimir's free farming. Who's stopping this guy? Nobody. Morgana pings out Ezreal's bounty. They know he's the next target to kill. Jarvan no longer has his bounty after being killed off. way back then, and he has yet to reaccrue that lead. Poole is going to stop the flash undertow from the Pyke, which by the way is called not like Olaf's undertow, but like abyssal undertow or something. But most people just call it freaking annoying stun. I hated the lead Pyke, which is a really weird ability name. Pyke is gonna sweep out the side. He wants to make something happen. I don't think he can. He doesn't have enough friends here. Zoe Bubble might just zone out his escape. He's going to dash over the wall. He's totally fine. But blue team has taken their third turret. It's now 3 turrets to 0. And suddenly with mid lane turret falling, blue team might find themselves, blue team might find themselves with a lot more room to play with all of a sudden, and they will show that off immediately by getting Herald. And the Pyke, he's gonna get bounded by the binding, and he's gonna be put to sleep. Zoe flashes with the portal jump, and she's gonna get that long range ballista kill. In fact, let's replay that just because I want to see this in its full glory. Zoe gonna land that bubble. Watch how far she goes. Jump, stolen flash. Basically from 2 screens away, killing him from beyond the grave. Now we'll fast forward a few seconds. Alright, now we're back to live. 17.5 minutes in. 31.5k, so that's 1,000 gold lead here for blue team. Not a lot, this game is still very much even. But we look at all the threats. They have a Zoe that nobody has successfully killed, other than that one time, like 2 minutes into the game. They have a Vladimir, slowly getting more and more powerful. In fact, what is that item he's building? Is that that's not that? No, that can't be a waste staff, right? No, no way. You wouldn't second item waste staff just because of Poppy exists, right? You just go Oblivion Warp, call it a day, and kill the carry instead, right? But on red team, we're gonna have Ezreal, Scaling Monster, Moramana's done as I'm talking. Triforce is done as well, Call is completed. He is so incredibly strong. But he has so many threats to contend with. You have a Zoe that can just kill you. And you have a Vladimir that can also just kill you, but a little bit more painfully. The other late game threat in Kassadin is actually being bullied right now. That bubble, that star would have absolutely killed him if he didn't get out in time. But the Zoe getting instantly erased by the Ezreal. Forget everything about what I said about them not being able to kill the Zoe, because it just happened. Ezreal gets so much gold to himself. Such a valuable pickoff here. Zoe oversteps a little bit, and Ezreal finds such an excellent pickoff, and that might be their dragon. If they get this, that's gonna be soul point. It's a 3 Drake to 0 shutout so far. Unless they can make something happen. Oh, the Jarvan! What is he doing? He's walking so close to the wall, and now the jungler is dead. Now they can't get the dragon. Olaf's in the pit. He's cleaning it up. Can he get it? Yes, he does. He smites it away, and suddenly this fight just went from bad to worse. The Poppy, she wants to kill on the Olaf. Olaf standing on the hammer shock. One more hit will do it. She can't find it, but the Vladimir gets killed off on the side. The dunk from the Pyke does miss the target, and the Ezreal gets bound. They lost the Drake. Moonlight Witcher gonna come in to clean up the fight. The cannon shots and lands on the Pyke and the Ezreal. And that's everybody dead. Vladimir's T-posing in the river. Not accepting that he was killed off. Oh. Well. And Pyke leaves. I mean... Okay, never mind. He's back. We're fine. But... it's not fine. There's a Herald at mid. Jarvan steps into a sleepy trouble bubble, gets slapped, but he still disables the Herald just in time. I mean, yeah, like, you need to kill that ward, but don't send your jungler to do it. Shouldn't you be killing that ward with a ranged person? Like, not the jungler that needs to secure objective? I don't... That is such a... no brain play that I can't even begin to break that down. That was such a giant throw as well. This goalie that stayed tight all game just got blown wide open. Here comes the Olaf. But the Olaf, he might have picked a fight he can't win. Maybe, maybe not. It's actually really close. They kill each other. The Undertow finishing off the Ezreal, and Olaf gets that shutdown gold. Pyke gets killed off once again. But what else is new in this game? Jarvan is going to go farm a few Krugs. Red team finds the critical pick off on the jungler. Pyke has had enough. He's just going to DC again. Maybe he'll come back again. It's okay, they win late, right? But he kind of needs to be here for them to win late. So now this game is kind of at this terrifying standstill. Okay, yeah, Vladimir does go for the Liandry, which makes so much more sense than getting White Staff second. That's an item I can get behind. I approve of that one. This game is currently at such a terrifying standstill, where you know that blue team is just gonna get way stronger from here. Aphelios is terrifying in the late game. So is the Vladimir. Like Vladimir's late game needs no introduction. He is possibly one of the best characters in late game. In the ultra late game scenario. But on red team, really, what do you have? You have a Kassadin who did go for tier. He is gonna bite the bullet and scale up, which is awful, by the way. Ezreal's gonna get caught out and dunked on by the Olaf. He's gonna be killed off here. That's gonna be his 5th death this game, but that might be the most punishing one. Without an ADC and the support, that's actually just Baron for blue team. They're all near the pit as well. Now Jarvan has 2 options here. He could go for a hero play, or don't, which is probably smarter. But he's gonna try for it and gonna get scouted out here by the Vlad. There's a pink in the river. Morg Binding goes wide, but Jarvan is tanking so much pain before even making it into the pit. So he is gonna go for the smart play and concede that Aphelios chakraming down the Baron. They do kill it so fast here. Poppy working on Iceborne Gauntlet, which is not the best item to buy at the present moment. I don't think that's the armor item you should be going for as Poppy. Normally it is. You do second item Gauntlet on Poppy in a lot of cases. But in this case, I don't think she should be that concerned with armor, especially an armor item that doesn't grant health. Her role in this game is actually pretty awkward, because Poppy is not a good tank when your W just does nothing. She can't block a single thing from blue team. Nobody on blue team has a dash, unless you're counting Proto Belt. But that is some 0 IQ stuff if you're picking Poppy just to counterpick a Proto Belt. Poppy is a very good tank in counterpick situations, not a very good tank for general purpose. Because the Poppy in this situation gets shut down so hard by the existence of Olaf and Morgana. Olaf ignores most of Poppy. Oh my god, that Ludens damage. Oh. Yeah, but Poppy's ultimate gets ignored by Olaf, gets ignored by Morgana Black Shield. A lot of what she does relies on disruption, but there's a lot of champions on blue team that just can't be disrupted. And your W straight up doesn't work. It's a really suboptimal tank pick, especially into blue team right here. Olaf is gonna try to run train on the Ezreal. He has nowhere to run, and Olaf gonna smack him away. Keeper's Verdict gonna kick away an Aphelios Sentry. That is possibly the least threatening thing you could possibly kick out in this fight. Blue team is just gonna take an inhibitor uncontested, 9,000 gold ahead. I mean, Kassadin, this is kind of what I was talking about, the fact that he went tier after being so behind. I do think the right call in this game is to build items that prevent you from losing, as opposed to being, hey guys, at 40 minutes in, I'll be a champion. Jarvan is gonna find a critical shutdown here onto the Vladimir, but I say critical. He's possibly the least relevant member right now. You need to kill anybody that's not him. They still don't have the Pyke in this game. Which, I mean, if he DC'd a lot earlier, it might have actually been nice for red team, because he wouldn't have fed so much gold away. But he DC'd after getting 7 death. And I think by this point it's safe to say that he's not coming back. So yeah, that sucks. And you know that's gonna be used in the excuse list too. It's a 4v5. It doesn't mean anything. I try to reserve my judgment to actually solve that argument because, you know, it's between them. It's family matters. But what I will say is that Jarvan's gonna die. What I will say is that if that dragon fight didn't happen, the one where Jarvan walked up to hit a pink and didn't really try to disengage until it was way too late, like Olaf was on his face, Morgana bound him, Aphelios was shooting him, I don't think he should have tried to hit that word. Because the rest of the fight was just such a total wash. But if nothing else, maybe to help them settle their argument, I will say Jarvan and Ezreal were not the problems this game. I think a lot of it comes down to, well, 1, Pyke inting, 2, Kassadin choosing to make himself useless. Like, imagine if that was like Lichbane or Zhonya's or like anything that was immediately impactful. He might not have been in this situation where he's essentially invisible. He's only got 2 kill participation. And really third is the Poppy tank, because what does the Poppy even do against this blue team? When you pick Poppy, you really need to be mindful of what matchups you're going into. Oh my god, the chakrams, they're just raining down. And there's just very little competition here. Blue team is gonna clean it up. 27.5 minutes in. They win the game. A little bit unceremonious, but they win the game regardless.